Okay. And we're going to record this and we'll throw it up on the YouTube page. So we are going to start off with just creating a basic page. That's how everything is pretty much done. So your admin bar is now on your left side. We're all logged in as power users. It kind of gives us a little bit more flexibility. But we'll have the teardrop or the water drop, and right below that is going to be our content. So we're going to go content, add content, and then just basic page. And again, don't worry about breaking anything. If you break something, it's fine. Basic page, pretty simple. You get a title and a body field. I'm just going to name mine as a testing page. You'll have a summary. We're not going to worry about that. We'll just use the body. By default, this is just basic HTML. You can just type something out, paste something in. I'm just going to grab some lorem ipsum, paste it in. You kind of really don't want to do what I just did and paste stuff directly in. And I have a Word document over here. I'm going to show you guys why. So this is coming directly in from a Google Doc. And what you're seeing here is the actual HTML code. And what it does is when you paste in from a document, it grabs all the formatting from that document. So it ends up looking like a big, gigantic, jumbled mess on the back end. And what'll happen is if your document's using a specific font, you paste it in, it's going to bring that font with it. So you'll end up on the website with just a whole bunch of different fonts. You'll have the font for the website, and then you'll have a bunch of fonts and stuff from the document. So not advised to do that. What you can do is just use Notepad, paste it into a Notepad, Notepad or Notepad++, then copy it again and paste it in. And what that does is it strips all that formatting from the document. So it goes back the way it should be. Yes.
So then it automatically will pick up whatever formatting is programmed in for the website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we get tickets. I get messages all the time where people are like, hey, why does this look weird? And I go back in. No, if you know how to look at HTML source, you'll see a bunch of stuff that shouldn't be in there. And that's what throws things off. I think the websites are set to a 16-point font, but if you copy it in from a document, it'll come in different. So you'll get different sizes for stuff, and it just looks messy. So I always recommend that when you're going to copy from a document and paste it into the website, paste it in a Notepad first, let it strip all those tags out, and then copy it again from Notepad, paste it into the website. Hey, Karen, how are you?
Doing good. Long time no talk.
So, yeah, we're not too far ahead. So in the chat for the meeting, there is a URL for the website. and then a password and a username and password. So to log in, it's just the URL/user, and you can use the username and password to log in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's get rid of this. So, and this is just using basic HTML. If you want a little bit more options, change the text format to full HTML. And now this WYSIWYG expands. There is a paste as plain text option now. And again, what that does, it should strip all those tags out. There's also a paste from Word. Oh, yeah, it doesn't support it. But
So
paste,
what's the difference between doing that, going to full HTML, or using the notepad? Then you can edit it more within this.
yeah, so when you go to full HTML, you end up with a lot more options of what you can do. But when I paste in, I always typically copy it to Notepad and paste in.
Even if you're going to use full HTML.
Yeah, especially if I'm using full HTML. It's just a habit I've had from years of doing web work to paste it into Notepad first. I always go to full HTML because depending on what I want to do, gives me more options. No, the basic HTML, really, I just get some formatting, bullets, and creating a link. So I can select this, pop in the link, and that's really all I get. Oh, and I can bold stuff. With full HTML, it gives me some different options. I can, well, let me do that there. We can center the text, align it however we want. I can insert an image from the library, and we'll get that here in a little bit. I can insert a table, horizontal rule. Oops. Which, if everyone wants to know, horizontal rule is just a line. Again, I still have formatting. My different headings. We'll leave that as normal. And then we have some pre-built styles. So that way, if you want to draw attention to something, you can use the headings. And again, if we wanted to, we can drop in an image. So we can say insert from media library. This will show everything that's an image that's already on the site. So if we want to reuse something, we can do that. If we want to add a file, and let you know, scroll up a little bit, we're under image, add file, and we can choose the file. JPEGs, PNG files, those all work. And let me just grab a image. Double click on the image, it will load up. And now it's going to bring up a little dialog box. Alternative text, basically, these are alternative texts for screen readers. So you always want to give a good description of what the image is. So if a screen reader comes in, it's going to read that image. You want to make sure it's enough information that the person can understand what it's supposed to be. No, big push in the state right now for accessibility. This is probably one of the biggest hits across all the websites is the alternative text is not descriptive enough. So and that wouldn't even be enough. You kind of want to describe the entire image. Now we're going to set crops. Different components of the website will use these images, and depending on how they're cropped is how they will be displayed. So to set them, we got to make sure we're on that cropping setting. And even if we like it, we just want to click on it, and it's going to say cropping applied. And this bounding box is going to be set to different fields on the website. So we can scale it in, move it however we want. Go to the next one. And so once cropping is applied to all of them, and this moved a little bit, let's do this. There we go. Did you save? Try that again. So here, if that happens, just click on the cropped image, it comes back up. I always say show in the media library, publish it, click save. The image gets added to your website. It's checked. Say insert select image. And the image now gets inserted inside the body field. Once everything is finished, I'm just going to click save, and it's going to publish the page. Everybody with me so far? All right, Ellen, give me a thumbs up. That's good enough. So that's a basic page, and majority of time, that's going to work. Yes, Martha Jane.
I have an image question. So you answered one of my first questions is that you have to click on the image to like accept the crop, and you accept all of the different versions regardless of the one that you want.
Yep.
And it's going to just put in the correct one. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes and no. In this case, since we just stuck the image directly in the body, none of the cropping was applied.
Got it.
Yeah, and I'm about to go here to the reason why.
Okay.
Well, the reason for all the cropping. So on the same page, if we look across the top, we're going to have view the page. We can edit the page, delete it. Don't worry about manage display. Layout. Layout's going to be the big one. With this platform, we have what's called Layout Builder, and pretty much almost all the content types are going to be able to use this. So when we click on this, we actually see the page in another view. So we'll see this is the title section. This is the body section. It's set up for a sidebar here, where if there was a menu system going on, it would automatically be added. If not, depending on the content types, we can add them. But we can actually do a lot more. So for example, this is our old demo page where we were showing what we could do. And this is all done through Layout Builder. So this is all accessible in the website to everybody. And we essentially do it here. So let's say we wanted to add a banner image to this page. So we would do that in Layout Builder. We have the section, we have a block, and let's say add block. Looks like a lot's going on, and essentially it is. These are all the different types of blocks on the website. And if you guys ever put a ticket into us, that's how we're going to refer to everything, either by the page, or the page is also known as a node, or we'll go, it's a block. And the block is essentially any piece of information that can be used anywhere else on the website. So, trying to think. There's an alert block. So we can put that alert block on multiple pages, only update that block once, and it gets updated across the entire website. So no matter what page it's on, it's going to be updated. So these blocks can be used everywhere, can be referenced everywhere. But what we're going to do is create a custom block. What a custom block means is it's only used in that one spot. So we create a custom block, and this gives us all of our options. Everybody with me so far? If I'm going too fast, if I'm not saying anything that makes sense, no, say something to me, please. So in this instance, we want to use a banner. So I'm just going to click banner. The title will come up with banner. You can display title. I'm just going to leave it off. And I just want an image. So I'm going to come back down and say add media. And I'm going to grab my image of Jack Miller again. Click on that, scroll down and say insert selected. And I'm just going to leave it as it is. And the same image I had used before now comes in, but it's using that cropping we applied. So I had cropped it for the banner, cropping's applied, and it comes in. Cool. And the same thing. Scroll back up and say save layout. So same image as this, it was just cropped, set to fit that area. So when you see the pencils, that means you can edit. but don't click on them here. What you always want to do is when you want to edit something is go back into layout, come back to the block you want to edit. The pencil icon will show up and click configure. And this opens up that dialog box back up. So the title up here is the actual title for the block. So I like to give it a name that I can always reference. If you display title, it's going to display the title above this. So most of the time you want to leave that unchecked. With the banner, we can put in a description. That'll work. It's still junk. We'll give another title. If you want to link it to a URL, and then the text you want to link. So that's our image. You can add a image overlay, which means it just darkens the image. So if you have an image that's pretty light in color, you can say add an image overlay. The text color can be white or it can be black. And it just makes it easier to read. So we'll do that, save it. It added my title, added the text I added in, and I added the link, and the link text is Jack Miller. So again, we'll just go back up, click Save Layout. I hover over it. I can look in the bottom left corner, see that my URL is working. I can also click on it. And it works. Go back into Layout. So we can also configure this section, and we could do it with all the different sections also. So there's a little more options here. So I click on Configure Section. Skip this. We're going to go to Style. You'll see on different pages, we'll add some backgrounds, some background colors. So spacing. So if I want to space the title down further, probably wasn't the best idea to use this one, but we can set spacing so everything's not kind of clumped together. And let's do this. So this will be the banner. We got the title. We have this section, but I want to add something below. So where it says add section, if you click on that, basically you're just going to add another section to this page. And then it's going to ask you for the layout for this section. Everything's built on Bootstrap. It's a grid system. That's why you kind of see all this. We're going to say Bootstrap column 1. So this is going to come in underneath. Be one big piece. If you look at the body section, it's 2 pieces. So it's a 2-column system. I just want one thing going across. And again, we can come back in here, say add block. I'm going to go back to create custom block. And now I want a card set because I want to have 3 options here below it. Card set's going to work really good. So title, testing card set. Again, this is just for my reference. I'm not going to display it. Leave it as default. I'm going to say 3 columns because I want 3 cards going across. So it'll space them equally. And I'm just going to give them quick names. I'm going to add media to each one of them. And I'm just going to grab these. Again, I'm just going to grab some lorem ipsum just to have them in here. So this is the first card. Then I'm going to add 2 more. So I got my 3 cards in. And I'm just going to say add block. So that's what that'll do. So it'll pop in all 3. Go back to configure. We can do a basic card or an image action card. Those are kind of different options. So the action card's a little bit bigger. And if you notice inside of this, it comes in as basic HTML. But again, same thing, you can actually change it to full HTML. So depending on what you want to do, what you want this to look like. And you can do that for each one. You're getting this little dialog box here because I already put text in and saved it. So it's just asking me if I want to change it. And the answer is yes. We'll go ahead and update it, take a look at the preview. I like how everything looks. And again, it's the same thing. We click Save Layout, saves all the changes. And now we have 3 cards. Does that make sense to everybody so far? I didn't lose anybody yet. Yeah, see, look, someone stuck a banner up on the header. Oh.
That was me, sorry.
That's fine. Like I said, if you guys break this, that's on you. No, it doesn't matter. This will get wiped anyways at the end of the day, so it's fine. So let's go back into layout. And now I'm going to say configure section 4. It's telling me it's box, which is fine. I really want the style. I'm going to go to background, color, and there's a couple of pre-built colors. No, there's a light gray. There's background color 1 and background color 2. Those vary from site to site. Those are added to the site and you know, whoever changes them. I'm just going to use a light gray. And what it does is this section behind these cards, the background gets changed to light gray. I'm going to save it. So this kind of just breaks up the page a little bit. But if you notice, this background lines up at the top of the cards. Doesn't look right. No, there's padding down here on the bottom, but none on the top. So let's change that. There's besides a lot of scrolling, there's padding and then there's margins. So back here in this configure section, I come up to the style, and there's spacing. This nice little box kind of tells you what the margin is and what the padding is. Margin is going to be the space between section 4 and section 3. So that's what the margin will be. Padding is going to be inside of this, section 4. So I can set padding all the way around, or I can do it by each side. So I'm going to do it by padding top. You can drag the slider and it's going to tell you here how much padding in pixels. I'm going to set it to 24. Scroll down, click updates. And what it did was it moved these cards 24 pixels inside of this. That way, that gray background goes all the way around it. And it looks a little bit better. Click Save Layout. So, and this just looks a little bit better now. Like I said, these pencils are going to come up and you can do an edit. Don't click quit edit. That'll break. You can click edit, but don't do that. It's just a weird little bug inside Drupal that if you edit off the page and you come into the layout to edit, it won't work. You have to go back out and now edit that block from the page itself. So let's do this. Now we're going to add a URL. So when you add URLs like this, when you start typing, it's going to pull up a list and it's going to find everything in your website that matches to that. So if I wanted this to go to announcements, Drupal's going to find it in the website and it will automatically set that link for you. Again, if you wanted to go to an external search, always best to copy and paste. So we're going to send this to contact us. So if I know the name of the page is called contact us, start typing that in. And this is the way you want to do it. You never want to, go up to the URL on the page on your own website and copy the URL. You always want to, either type in an page and let it find you, or the node number, and I'll explain that here in a second. Let me update this. Take a look. We added the URLs, and those come in automatically. Click Save. So this is going to contact us. Click on that. And it takes us right to the contact us page. So when you do the URLs like that, it's called a relative URL. It's relative to the website. This way, it's always going to go to the right page on the website. If you use like the full URL and that moves, it's going to break. Drupal is really good at knowing where the pages go, especially if you move them around, you rename them, it'll figure it out. Any questions? So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go in and you're going in to update a page, you get to the page, you look at it, and you're like, hey, I'm supposed to update, this. So you click on edit. You come in and you're like, hey, what I want to edit isn't there. Chances are it's in layout. So if you go to layout, you can come down and go, okay, here's what I need. So doing this also makes sure, everything this way ensures that the website's going to work across all devices. So someone broke something. No. So when we look at this and we test it out for scaling, all the page breaks are already built into everything, so everything's going to stack accordingly. So same page is going to work on a computer, a tablet, a cell phone, smartphone, and everything will stack accordingly. And how that works is, back in layout, let's say we add a section, and we're going to do 2 columns. So if we select 2 columns, we get a whole new little dialog box here. There's desktop, tablet, mobile. And so this is kind of the percentage on how wide this is going to be. So for desktop, we're going to say it's going to be 25 by 75. Same thing for tablets. Normally for mobile, it's always going to be 100. Some cases where that won't be a problem, but normally it's going to be 100%. And it adds this section in now. This is 25% of the width. This is 75% of the width. And again, we can keep going. We can add a block. Let's say, no. I'm going to add the contact us, which is a web form. So we can add the contact us back into this page if we wanted to, and then we have a block over here for something else. Now, does that last part make any sense? Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, Danielle was supposed to do training today. She's not feeling good, so I just took over. And she is a lot more organized than I am. Again, if we look here, when we go back and we look at the page, we can see that the contact us web form is butted up right against this, and that's going to be the two sections. So if we go back into layout, go into this configure section 5. I'm going to go right back to styles, spacing, and this time I'm going to pick margin on top because I just want a little bit of separation there. Go back up, click save. And now there's my spacing. So it kind of looks a lot better to the eye. So if you're, so that was the basic page. Let's see. And these are all the normal content types you guys will have on your websites. Different names for different reasons. Some of these get associated automatically on your websites to certain spots. So let's say the news press release. Yep. Again, simple title. Each agency is probably going to have their own formatting for their titles. General announcement and news. This is a taxonomy term. It's going to be the category, but this is kind of going to direct it to where it's supposed to go on your website. These require an image. Again, you can go back in here, add an image. And every time we add an image in, it's going to want the alternative text. Do a lot better than that in describing it, please. And then again, set and crops. Insert the selected. Attachments. Oh, this is good. So if you guys are adding attachments, you do that. The state loves PDF files. So if you want to add a PDF file, you can definitely do that. Again, just choose the file. Click Save. That'll get out of the website. Make sure the checkbox is checked, and it's going to insert it. Same thing, you're going to have a body field. And some of these will have tags. I don't know if every agency is using those, but you can add the tags so that if it's just a way for search. Hey, Alan.
Hey, quick question on the attachment. I'm not sure if I caught it. Did you have to upload those attachments to the library? I'm just thinking if you, or does it get uploaded to the library, even if it's like stored on your computer when you choose it?
Yeah. So if I want to add the attachments and I go choose files.
Okay, so that was taken from your computer. Now I see, taken from your computer and it gets uploaded into the site library.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So if it's already on the site, if you want to reuse another document there, it'll be down here.
Okay.
So you can kind of look for it.
Got it. Great. Thanks.
Title. Yeah. Once you click Save, and I'm pretty sure, again, depending on your sites, how everything's set up, this will automatically get assigned on your site to where it's supposed to go if you're using that. I'm not going to go over views. That might be in the advanced training. But yeah, so that's when you start looking at the press release, why there's different content types, and these terms here are being used on your website to take that content and put it in the appropriate spot. Your resource page, all resources on the site. Why am I not authorized? I should be authorized to do that. Resources are, documents and stuff. It's just faster way for cataloging. Service. Not sure if we're even still using this. This was, since we started this building these sites with Governor Ducey, we had certain requirements, so all services were supposed to be posted, but I'm not sure where that's going, so we don't have to worry about services. Any questions? No questions? So, since you guys already logged in the site, you guys can bounce around and look, but yeah, everything in how we created the pages was using Layout Builder. And just using those custom blocks. And I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be how the majority of your sites are going to be built. So, any questions on from you all on using your sites? Any problems you've run into?
I have a question, Ralph. So for images, I'm noticing when I'm trying to like play around and put different things up there, it's that they don't show up nicely. Like even the header we have right now on my site, like it just looks weird, pixelated, blown out, kind of. And I'm just wondering, like I've tried to, stick within the size guidelines and make sure it's a high quality image. It looks fine when I open it on my computer, and when I load it on the site, it looks blurry and weird. So is that about image quality, or is it about like what I'm trying to figure out how I can make an image that will look nice? I can't seem to make that work. I don't know if you're talking and you're on mute. I'm not sure.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, so I pasted in chat what the image resolutions are and the image sizes. These are from when the platform was built. So I've always kind of kept these. So yeah, if the resolution's too high and it's cropping down, it's gonna kind of squeeze it a little weird.
Okay.
If the resolution's too low and it's scaling up, you'll get pixelation. So um,
Okay. That's helpful. I'll give that a try.
yeah, so it's just sometimes you can take an image, put it in there, pop it in there, no problem. Sometimes, again, it's going to scale weird. Oh, yeah. So if you guys click on content, you can see all the pages in the sites. You can search. Yeah, you'll have your files up on top, so you can search for files. Oh, I know something. Same thing with images. Something you guys should know. So if you go content, media, you'll see all the media added to your site, images, files. This is where you want to delete stuff at. So let's say this file is no longer needed. Come up, delete it. That way it doesn't show back up in searches. So if someone does a Google search and they're looking for that document, there's a good chance they're going to find it because it's still technically on the web server, even though you don't have it linked on the site. The search engines are going to scan it. It's going to be there. If you just go right to the files and click delete, it doesn't always delete it. So always nice to go to media library, find it here, delete it out. So if you have a PDF document that's everybody has it where it gets updated, so you load up the new document, link it on your page, delete the old document. No, the websites shouldn't be used for retention purposes. So, but yeah, so if you go, hey, why are people still finding this document? We removed it off the website or we updated it on the website. Chances are an old document's still up on the website somewhere. They're finding it in Google. Does that make sense? And sometimes if you're like, hey, we looked on the website, it's not there, send us a ticket because we can actually FTP to the server and double check on the server to make sure. And then if it's still there, we can delete it out. Any more questions?
No, that's helpful. I'm going to go break my website now. So look forward to an email later so you can fix it for me.
Perfect. Well, if you guys want to try anything, this training site's going to stay up. So I feel like I want to go mess around and do stuff without, blowing up my own websites. Do it on this site. Like I said, if you guys, break something or do something you're not supposed to, it's easy for us to go in here and reload the site back the way it is versus trying to go through your website and fixing stuff. And just to let you all know, your websites are all backed up nightly. So if something does blow up and it's catastrophic, we can always go back and restore it from the previous day. We prefer not to do that, but it's an option.
Good to know.
If we practice on this site, do we use that same login?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you guys can use that login. So this is a multi-dev site for us, so it's not connected to anything in the workflow. So if you guys, like I said, if you guys break something, you break it. And if you're looking at something, you're like, hey, how'd they do that? You should have access to go in here, look at the layouts, edit the page, figure out how, you can kind of look at it and go, okay, it's just this, or it's just that. Cool. No more questions? All right.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming today. Hope you learned something. We should really have like a feedback so we know what we should be teaching everybody. But thank you for attending, everybody.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.